What's up, Sports-A-Delic? Thanks for tuning in. We had Lamar Jackson go out. Tom Brady goes into overtime, but of course he gets the win. And we all know kind of like what happened ultimately in the Washington Cowboy game. But let's go on over here in the studio so we can chop it up. Sports-A-Delics, what's happening? What's happening? I am Reem, and that's Lil Reem. Thanks for tuning in. Hello to my subscribers, and welcome to my new subscribers. Like I told you in the intro, crazy day in football today. Lamar Jackson, he goes out the game with an ankle injury, and the Browns squeaked out a win. I think it was 24-22. I don't know what's going on with the Ravens. Lamar was looking good there for a minute, and then it just seems like it's all falling apart. And I think they are slowly drifting themselves out of the playoffs. They're going to have to get it back on track. The Bills, Tampa Bay game kind of went how I thought it would. I didn't necessarily expect overtime, but I'm not surprised that it was. Now, we all know that the Bills were this close last season, from being a real Super Bowl champion. And they've kind of been sputtering, which I think makes them dangerous. We're down to crunch time. When you get down to these last, 4 or 5 games, whomever's the healthiest and whoever is peaking at the right time, those are going to be the most dangerous outs. Like, you're not just going to get them out. You're going to have to beat them down to get them out of the playoffs. We all know what's going on in the NFC East and the NFC Least. I mean, the teams that we have, 6, 7 teams duking it out every week to stay in the hunt. You're in the hunt of making the playoffs with 7 losses. So that kind of lets you know what's really going on over there. The Sunday night game just kicked off. We got Green Bay, going up against the Chicago Bears. I don't know if this is the rivalry that it used to be. As back in the day, Green Bay, the Bears is going down to the wire. But, Justin Fields is struggling. Well, he doesn't have an offensive line, and he doesn't have a running game. So there you have it, right? Now, moving on into Washington-Dallas game. Of course, I'm not happy that we lost because everyone knows how I feel about Dallas. It's a natural rivalry, the Cowboys against the Indians. But I got to tell you, I'm proud of my team. We had every reason to give up. We had every reason to quit. But I'm sure at halftime, the coaching staff reminded the team, it's Dallas. We go in at halftime, it's 24-0. The final score is 27-20. You know why? Because it's Dallas. 3 points in the second half. And I heard a lot of Cowboy fans watching the game talking about that Dak looks terrible. What's up with Dak? Dak is struggling. But I want you to pay attention to this up here. The last 4 weeks leading up to this game, Heineke has actually outplayed Dak. We play the same non-conference games. And obviously, they have ultimately won more of those off-season games. Conference games than we have. Out-of-conference games, that is. But if you look at this, Dak went 2-2, completing 68% of his passes, averaging 281 yards a game. And his pass to interception, 5 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, with, a QBR of 90.7. Whereas you can see with Heineke, he went 4-0, completing 77% of his passes, just right around 220 yards a game. And his pass touchdown interception ratio, as you can see, is 7-2 with a QBR of 110. Now, neither one of these guys today really tore it up. Heineke took a beating. I told you all, Micah Parsons is that dude. He disrupted the entire game, all game. And man, that I thought he had killed my quarterback. I mean, just take a look at the play. I didn't think he was going to get up from that, but he did because the kid got heart. But he finished his day with a 4.9 QBR. Just a terrible day. Plus, he got hurt, and we had to bring in Kyle Allen, who I think for the most part played well. I'm not one to really pony up and get into all the excuses because I know one play doesn't ever cost you the game. We had multiple opportunities and we squandered them. We had 3 lost fumbles. Early in the first quarter, Dak threw the ball straight to my guy and he didn't catch it. Those are the type of plays that you have to make. When you're not a good team, which we're not a good team, the last thing you can afford is turnovers. And like I said, we had 4 or 5, turnovers. One, when we got the ball back, had a chance to see if we could get down there and tie the game up. But, the quarterback fumbles the ball. And Dak, like I said, he finished with, 58 point something QBR. He didn't have, a good game. But like I said, the last 5 weeks, Dak has kind of been, a little suspect. Now, hey, you got the win. We'll see you in 2 weeks. But I think you have a focus problem. There is no way at any period of the season that Heineke should be outplaying a quarterback like Dak. It's not, for me, the fact that he's making $40 million a year, to a guy that, is barely, scraping the bucket. He gets $120,000 bonus if we win. So he didn't get a bonus, right, today. But he's made out like a bandit the last 4 weeks. But my point is, Dak should not ever be in the same stat category in QBR as a third, fourth string backup guy. He just shouldn't. And I think that it's a symptom and a sign of what we've always known to be true about Dak. That's why there was this big question from Jerry Jones about really paying him, what he wanted, because he has these unexplained periods where he just not seeing the field for whatever reason. It definitely wasn't because of pressure. Like, we were not pressuring him into a lot of the stuff that he was doing out there today. But that's the beauty of sports. It just says win. It's not going to say barely won, only won by 1, ugly win. It's a W. And for us, it's an L. But again, I'm proud of my team because we battled back. And that's all you ever want from your team, to go down, fight, and go down swinging. And speaking of swinging, Landon Collins was thrown out of the game for punching one of the Cowboy fans. Now, I don't think there's any place in the game, for the fighting, but, it's going to happen. I don't know all that went on. I know there was some friction because my guy pushed Dak out of bounds, but he was still in play when the push took place. And I guess he didn't have to push him because he was running out of bounds. But this is football, right? But this is a perfect cigar for me. Coming off an L. This is the Ashton Symmetry. Excellent smoke. I think it's a full medium, I would say. Two things. Number one, please hit me with your comments. Please subscribe, like, share. But if you just think that you want to get face-to-face with me and you want to set up webcam and so we can discuss at a statistical, intelligent level, some sports, and I don't care which sport it is, then hit me up with the comments. Let me know that you want to get face-to-face. I don't mind. And let me congratulate my Clemson Tigers. Today it's official. We won the national championship in men's soccer. We went in all over the place. And I like the fact that the semifinals, we beat Notre Dame. So all you Irishmen out there, it was because of Clemson again, you can't get to the championship. In football, either footy balls, we're knocking you out. Thanks for tuning in. And always be good to yourself.